What was something spine-chilling that a parent said to you? My mother's last words to me were, "Check the attic," but it took me 5 years to understand what she meant. Mom was always the practical one. Her love was in the details, in the way she remembered everyone's favorite foods and kept photo albums meticulously labeled. When I was 22, I got my dream job offer, a position at an international aid organization working in refugee camps across Southeast Asia. The only problem was that Mom had been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer just 3 months earlier. "I can't leave now," I told her beside her hospital bed. The doctors had given her 6 months, maybe less. She reached for my hand, her skin paper thin. "You have to go," she said firmly. "This is what you've worked for." "But you need me here," I argued. Dad had died when I was in high school, and my brother was away at college. There would be no one to take care of her. "I've already made arrangements," she said. "I need you to promise me you'll take that job." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "How can you ask me to leave you like this?" She squeezed my hand with surprising strength, because watching you give up your dreams would be far more painful than dying alone. Those words haunted me. We argued about it for days until finally I agreed. 2 weeks later, I was on a plane to Thailand, waiting for updates from Aunt Linda. Mom lasted 4 months. I was in a remote village when the call came. I couldn't even make it back for the funeral. The guilt was crushing. I'd abandoned her in her final moments for a job. I threw myself into my work, extending my contract twice. 5 years passed before I finally returned to our family home to clean it out and sell it. On my 3rd day back, I found a letter from the hospice nurse who'd been with Mom at the end. "Your mother spoke of you constantly. Her last coherent words were, 'Tell Sarah to check the attic. I hope this means something to you.'" I'd completely forgotten about our attic. That night, I climbed up with a flashlight, unsure what I was looking for. In the far corner, I found a trunk I'd never seen before. Inside were dozens of journals, Mom's handwriting filling every page. I opened one from around the time I was born and began to read. "I never wanted children," the entry began. My heart stopped. I was terrified of becoming my mother, cold, critical, never satisfied. When I found out I was pregnant, I cried for days. I almost closed the journal then, but something made me continue. But then they placed Sarah in my arms, and something broke open inside me. I looked at her tiny face and made a vow. She would never doubt she was loved. She would never feel the way I did growing up. I read through the night. Mom had documented everything. Her fears about parenting, her pride in my accomplishments, her struggle to show affection when it had never been shown to her. The final journal contained entries from her last months. "Sarah wants to stay with me instead of taking the job," she'd written. "I can't let her do that. My mother kept me tethered to her with guilt until the day she died. I've spent my whole life making sure Sarah would be different, strong, independent, free. If my final act is to force her to live her own life, then so be it." The last entry was dated 3 days before she died. "I've hidden these journals all my life. Sarah should know the truth, that loving her taught me how to be human, that sending her away was the hardest and most important thing I've ever done. I hope someday she'll forgive me." I sat in that dusty attic until sunrise, surrounded by my mother's hidden heart. All those years, I'd thought she'd dismissed my feelings, when really she'd been saving me from her own painful history.